Welcome to That Real Estate Show, where we don't just help you buy or sell a home, we help you become part of the community too. I'm your host, Diane Brennan, realtor at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Arizona Properties. Today we're going to show you what has been described as the most original home in America. But first, here's what's coming up on the show. Replacing your roof? We have some tips on foam roofing and what you need to know before getting one installed. And if you want to buy a home but think you can't afford it, learn about great programs that give you free money to help with the down payment and closing costs. And now's the time to think about redoing that backyard. We'll introduce you to a full-service landscape company that can turn your backyard into a dream. We're now going to show you the famous Boulder House here in North Scottsdale, 38,000 square feet of boulders. Here with me is the listing agent, Preston Westmoreland of Russ Lyon Sotheby's Realty International. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Diane.
So tell us about this place.
Well, there was a couple up in the Pacific Northwest that saw an ad in the paper, and it said, "Who will buy my beautiful pile of rocks?" And they were intrigued by that, and they flew down, and just to the east of Scottsdale Road, they found all of these old pre-Cambrian granite boulders, and they were going to put a house in front of it. They thought this is going to be really neat, and they hired an architect from New Mexico named Charles Johnson, and he said, "You're making a big mistake. I can't design a house in front of these rocks that will look better than the rocks. Let's see if we can make the rocks the house." And that was the germ of the whole idea of this amazing engineering feat. And what he did was just brilliant in coming up with a traffic flow and a pattern of the rooms. They poured cement up to the rocks, they put dye in the cement, and it was a brilliant way of making flooring with a very uneven wall surface, because 60% of the walls are the boulders.
So it's about 4,200 square feet. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms?
3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. There's 2 guest suites on the bottom floor, and they're just wonderful.
So we're in the great room, and there's this giant crack, and it has to do something with the solstice and equinox?
Well, it seems that as the family moved in here, every equinox they would notice a big beam coming in the crack going all the way across the house. And during the solstice there were other little beams that came through natural arches, and then they saw the petroglyphs chiseled into the rock in the shape of solar, the sun, and by the indigenous tribes that used to live here. And it turns out they used this as an observatory to know when the seasons were passing. And in the great room of the home, where they had their main living area, that's an enormous crack that's sealed with glass, scribed right to the rock, because the whole house has to be able to be air conditioned and heated. It's all sealed up, but that crack produces that equinox beam that goes all the way through the home at about 5:45 in the afternoon, and I've seen it, and it's really something.
Thanks so much, Preston. We'll have more with you later on in the show.
Thank you.
We're here with Lori Clark of Right Way Roofing. Today we're going to talk about foam roofs. So when would you put this type of roof in versus a tile roof?
I always recommend foam on a flat roof that's over livable space. So foam is made for a flat roof. If it's over livable space, you get the insulation factor.
Let's talk about the process.
Okay, so what happens is we go up and install 1 inch of foam, and then we do 1 layer of coating, and then we put limestone granules over that, and then we come back and do another coating over the limestone granules to embed the granules in the coating.
So why are limestone granules important?
Well, not only do they improve the tensile strength, which is the strength and the toughness of the roof, but they make it to where birds can't peck through.
Okay, so let's talk about what you have here. What are these samples of?
So this is an example of how some foam roofs are installed. This is coating with no granules on it.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see, people can see that?
Mm-hmm. And then this is an example of something else that other companies do. And as you can see, if I go like that, the granules just fall off. And that's what's going to be happening if you don't put the layer of coating over it. Over time, the granules just fall off. So this is an example of what we do.
This is the right way to do it.
This is the right way. So you can see we have our inch of foam, we have the coating, and these granules are, nothing's coming off.
All right. And why is the applicator important, the person spraying the roof?
They have to be able to take their time and have the experience to make sure they're getting an inch of foam. They have to do 3.5 gallons of coating for every 100 square feet of roofing in order for us to uphold the manufacturer's warranty of 10 years.
So it's an art form, pretty much.
It actually,
it's really
it
important on
absolutely
spraying
is
it.
an art form. They're actually making the roof. And the coating that we use is not only an acrylic elastomeric as opposed to an elastomeric, but it's a 10-year roof system because we're installing 3.5 gallons. And the coating that we use is actually made for the Arizona climate.
Especially for the Arizona climate.
Yes, it is
where
made
these
for
situations
Arizona.
aren't necessarily optimal for Arizona's weather.
Correct. There's many different types of coating out there, and you have to make sure you're actually getting the right coating. That is key. The coating is the key to a foam roof.
And who are the best candidates? Flat roofs?
Any flat roof can have foam. Yes, any flat roof, anything over livable space, I highly recommend foam.
All right. Thanks, Lori, so much. Great information. We look forward to you coming on upcoming shows and giving us more great advice.
Well, thank you for having me.
Buying a home but worried about that down payment? Well, we've got information on programs that can give you free money. Plus, we continue our tour of this breathtaking home. We head to the master bedroom next.
Hi, I'm John Tobias with Fairway Independent Mortgage, and here's your Fairway tip. For those of you looking to increase your credit scores, I recommend keeping your credit card balances as low as possible, and actually keeping a $10 balance is better than having no balance whatsoever. Also, don't close those cards. Having access to credit is good for your scores. And lastly, paying off collections can actually be a detriment to you in the short term, so think twice before paying them off. For more information, please give us a call. We're happy to help.
That real estate show is brought to you in part by the Tobias team at Fairway Independent Mortgage and Right Way Roofing.
Since 1980, Frederick & Sons has offered air conditioning, plumbing, and heating service in the Valley, offering great service, highest quality workmanship, and certified technicians. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and they always guarantee their work. Nothing is worse than a surprise jump in repair cost. That's why they'll give you an estimate in writing before starting a job. For all of your AC, plumbing, and heating needs, call Frederick & Sons today, an Arizona-based family-owned business. That's Frederick & Sons, or visit plumbingprosaz.com.
Hi, I'm Lori Clark, owner of Right Way Roofing, where we believe there's only one way, the right way. Here's what the other guys are using. Here's what we use. At Right Way Roofing, we only use the most durable, top quality products at a fair price. As a third-generation roofing company, we service all types of roof systems and perform re-roofs, new roofs, repairs, and master leak detection on both residential and commercial properties. Give us a call today for a free estimate. And remember, there's only one way, the right way.
We are here at Fairway Mortgage with John Tobias, our favorite lender. John, tell us a little bit about Fairway and the services that you provide here.
Fairway is one of the largest lenders in the country. We're top 10 when it comes to mortgage lending. We're in 49 states. Been here in Phoenix for about 18 months, really. And we're growing very quickly. We provide services improving people's credit scores, counseling, and customer service, our number one focus.
Excellent. So people who maybe have bumps in their credit can come to you and you can put them on a plan to get that straightened out.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's no cost or obligation for that. We can help people be on game plans and get them successful with their credit scores.
So we're going to talk a little bit about down payment assistance. There's some programs available, I understand, to help people if they don't have the cash to put down on a home.
Absolutely. There are several programs available. One's called Home Plus and one's called the Home in 5. And basically they give up to 5% towards down payments for a grant for buying a home. And they're not repayable.
Right. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
You do not have to pay these back. It's grant money.
That is correct. They're not repayable. There is one that's just come out called the Pathway to Purchase, though, and you do get up to 10% down or $20,000. So if it's a $300,000 house, you still only get $20,000, but that one is repayable. So it's forgiven after 5 years, but it's a great way for homeowners to get a nice chunk for a down payment, especially if they're going to be in that home for a while.
And what does forgivable after a certain time mean?
That means it's not repayable after 5 years if you're living in the home for those 5 years.
Oh, so you have to stay in the home for 5 years and then you don't have to pay it back.
Correct.
Okay, I love
Correct.
that.
Yeah.
Who do these types of programs benefit the
They're
most?
first-time buyers. You can actually own another property when you utilize some of these programs, and they're for primary residences only. Though you can't be an investor, can't be a second home. is for primary residences, and they're pretty liberal. You can make up to $88,000 or $89,000 a year, depending upon the product, as a maximum income threshold. So it's not that tough to qualify for them, and the money will run out. So it's good to think about pursuing those now.
So not everyone is qualified or approved to do these types of down payment assistance loans.
That's correct. We do have to be approved to do them. Not all banks can, and the individual loan officers also have to be registered to do these loans. We believe in down payment assistance, and so we participate in most all of them.
What about FICO scores? Where do you have to be in terms of credit to be able to qualify for some of these programs?
Typically a 640 credit score. There's a conventional product and an FHA product. Each are a little different. So the conventional, you're probably going to trend towards higher FICO scores, or 680 if you're going to go that route. FHA is a little more lenient when it comes to credit scores, so clients end up going FHA if their FICO scores are a little bit lower.
In some cases, I hear there's no money down with some of these programs.
Yeah, that down payment, that grant can fill the gap so that you can get into a home literally with nothing out of pocket. If the seller pays the closing costs, you can come out of pocket nothing really.
All right, thanks, John. Great advice.
Pleasure.
We're back here with Preston Westmoreland, and we're in the lovely master bedroom. That
What?
was dangerous getting up here.
Quite a climb, huh?
It was, it was.
And two interesting things up here. Wonderful views of the 9 acres surrounding the Boulder House. There's a half of a fireplace that's a whimsical fireplace where they morphed it out of the rock, and then they have interesting doors that are cut almost like a cartoon in the shape of the boulders.
And let's talk about the smoke stain on one of the rocks.
Well, this is one of the most remarkable bedrooms. The lower bedroom has a cave in it with dark carbon on the ceiling that's been carbon dated over 1,000 years old. And when the Emppies built the house, they noticed this, and they moved their fireplace over to the other side so they wouldn't damage that carbon. But the prehistoric indigenous peoples would camp there, and that's smoke from their fires for centuries and centuries.
So tell me a little bit more about the petroglyphs.
Well, they're all around the entire home, and it's earned it a place on the National Register of Historic Places. And some of the petroglyphs, about 20 of them, pay tribute to Mother Nature. There are others that are in the shape of a sun, and they use that in the equinox and the solstice symbols. But it's just loaded with petroglyphs all the way around. Quite fascinating.
I know this is going to be hard to answer, but what's your favorite place in the home?
Well, I just like when you first come in. We used to call this the Oh My God house because when you show it, people come into that first giant room ringed with these ancient boulders, 24 feet high, and they say, "Oh my God." And I think I just love the feeling of going into the great room with the massive granite boulders.
This has been wonderful. Thank you so much for showing us around.
My pleasure.
Coming up, a landscape company that can create the backyard of your dreams and help you maintain it all year long. And Scottsdale's mayor swings by and shares his favorite things to do in the city he calls home.
Hi, I'm Lori Clark with Right Way Roofing. Here are a few things you should know when hiring a roofing contractor. Make sure they're licensed, bonded, and insured. Make sure the product that they're using is in the contract. Also, find out about the warranty and if they require any money down. At Right Way Roofing, we don't ask for payment until you're 100% satisfied. Give us a call for a free estimate. And remember, there's only one way, the right way.
If you want to know what your home is worth, go to tv.thatrealestateshow.co and click on the free home evaluation button. We'll send you a free report outlining the most recent sales in your neighborhood.
Growland can create a unique and personalized theme for your yard.
I can transform your yard and create intimate spaces. We can install fire features and misting systems, and we even do custom lighting. And we can even build you a bocce ball court. In fact, my greatest joy is watching your backyard unfold as I create that intimate sanctuary for you that your friends and family will never want to leave.
Conscientious, creative, hardworking, and honest, Greg Rowlands will leave a beautiful mark on your property.
I'm John Tobias, and making a home purchase is most people's biggest decision of their lives. we're here to make that process as seamless as possible.
The Tobias team at Fairway Mortgage is #1 in loans closed in Maricopa County for the past 5 years and is now offering Pathway to Purchase, a new down payment assistance program implemented by the Arizona Department of Housing. John Tobias is ready to help you with new mortgage products and all of your financing needs. Call 480-626-2207.
My daddy is a bear. Mommy Lola is a bear.
Scottsdale was originally named Orangedale as a nod to all of the citrus groves. It was renamed in 1894. U.S. Army Chaplain Winfield Scott and his family moved to the area, and the city was named for him. Today, 230,000 people live in Scottsdale. The city is home to stunning resorts, high-end shopping, great restaurants, and of course, the Barrett-Jackson Car Auction and the Waste Management PGA Open. We're here at Scottsdale Stadium where the Giants are about to take on the San Diego Padres. Joining me is Mayor Jim Lane. Welcome, Mayor. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure to be here with you. It's a great spot.
This is a beautiful location, and why is this, you picked it, and why is it special for you?
Well, it just actually has some great views in almost all directions, but when you look out at that field, I mean, you can't hardly get any better than that. Huh?
So what makes Scottsdale such a livable city?
Well, you know, it's a lot of things, I suppose, but we'd just say we got a great community who really puts together and keeps a great community. But we got a lot of amenities. We're certainly a tourism-based community, so we're resort-based. So we've got a lot of private kinds of amenities, as well as tremendous governance, and of course the services that come along with that. So we've got a little bit of different kinds of lifestyles for anybody who wants to live in its, whether it's urban, semi-urban, suburban, or rural. It's a wonderful place to be.
You came here in 1973 from New Jersey.
That's right.
So what changes have you seen?
Well, I'd have to say that the changes have been somewhat immense, and really I think a lot of it has got to do with the building attraction of Scottsdale with the rest of the country, and of course that has changed the demographic a bit. It's certainly changed a little bit of the tone, but we have worked very hard to make sure we maintain a balance and a respect for our past, as well as where we're going and how we need to evolve in the future. One of the outstanding things about that, and I'd say this is one of the bigger changes, is that we've been able to incorporate really having a respect for our past with the preserve and all of the things that we've kept just as they were, and to make sure that we maintain a Western heritage type of attitude and Western hospitality, and all of that relates to our hospitality industry, but also just our general overall attitude.
Mayor Lane, how do you attract businesses and people to the city of Scottsdale?
Well, first I'd have to say it's not too terribly hard. We've got a great community, and it's very attractive for people to live here and otherwise, and to work here. But one of the things that really is important, I suppose, on top of everything else, is to have good governance, where you have a good tax policy and you have good regulatory policy and you have a welcoming environment to businesses. The employers are the people, and our economic engine grows on that basis.
All right, so now we are going to do a speed round and ask you just a few quick questions. What's your favorite spot to eat?
You know, I had to say, as a matter of luncheon meetings and that, it's probably Olive and Ivy.
Favorite place to grab a coffee?
It's either Breakfast Club, BC, or Butters.
Who's your favorite band?
From my New Jersey days, I said Bruce Springsteen.
3 things that people need to experience in Scottsdale.
I would say the preserve is one thing that they need to experience in Scottsdale. I would say certainly our downtown, just the environment in general, the arts and culture area of downtown. Spring training, I think, is probably the 3rd. It's centrally located. It's a wonderful place.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
We are here with Greg Rowland, owner of Growland. Greg, tell us what kind of company Growland is.
Well, we're a landscape company that specializes in full design, build, and maintain services.
And what kind of services do you offer?
Well, everything from the initial consultation with the client through all of those consulting services to produce a design and then to install all of that, whether it's plant material, hardscape, or softscape elements.
And sod installations included with that?
Absolutely. Sod installation is completely included in all of that.
And what types of designs do you do?
But we specialize in all types of designs, whether it's mid-century modern like what you see here, or an old world Tuscan approach, and we all the way out to, say, like a barn meets Mexico.
So the clients, you'll talk with the clients to kind of get a feel of what kind of style they like, and then custom develop and design a place perfect for them.
Absolutely. We work hand in hand directly with the client. The client is part of the design process, which is something that not all the other companies do.
So you recently partnered with an organic farmer. How does that benefit your clients?
You know, just like what you see here in the backdrop, this grass was installed a week ago, and the underlay of this is a completely live organic mulch mix. And that allows us to just, quite frankly, right off the front end, everything just looks so much better, and all of the plants thrive where some might be under a lot of stress.
So not only ecologically friendly, but also a bit of a better product for your customers.
Absolutely. You know, that's allowed us to not just be completely organic, which is so great for the environment. They just seem to do so much better right off the front end. Less stress on the plant when it goes into the ground, all of that.
Thank you so much, Greg, for joining us. That was great information. We look forward to having you on future shows. And if you want a new landscape look, make sure you contact Growland. Stick around. We have more to come on the show. If you found your dream home, I'll show you how you can find out if the neighborhood is a dream too.
My name's Lori Clark, owner of Right Way Roofing. Today I'd like to share with you a tip when shopping for a tile roof. The underlayment is the most important part of your tile roof. I've brought with me today some samples of what people are using that are the industry standards for underlayment. This is an example of one. As you can see, it's kind of thin. This is another example, and this is probably the most commonly used in the industry today. As you can see, it's not as durable as what I would prefer. This is actually what we use. This is actually its own roof system all by itself. It's not going to tear. It can be exposed to the UV rays in the event of a broken tile. Remember, at Right Way Roofing, we offer free estimates. There's only one way, the right way.
Enjoying Diane Brennan's insider tips, tours, and interviews? Then head to cox7.com/homes for more great video from that real estate show.
Do you have a window need, inside or out? New build or a remodel? Blind shutters, tents, cellular shades, roller shades, and sunscreens. Whatever your need, we have the company for you. Coyote Blind Company. Valley-wide family business since 1997. Trustworthy, competent installations and great selections. Authorized blind company for the city of Phoenix. Call Coyote Blind Company at 623-341-1931.
That Real Estate Show's Unsung Heroes program gives huge discounts to first responders and veterans buying or selling a home. This includes active duty military, firefighters, police officers, emergency medical personnel, Red Cross workers, and National Guard. Go to thatrealestateshow.com for more information. If you're buying a home, congratulations on that great decision. Here are a few tips to help you with the process. First, get pre-qualified. Here's why. When you put in an offer, a pre-qualification makes your offer a lot stronger. You're showing the seller that you have no problem getting a mortgage. Also, it helps you figure out what kind of payment you'd like. You might be able to afford a lot higher, but are you comfortable with your payment? Here's some more home buying tips for you. Have a conversation with your realtor. Set your expectations. For example, how do you prefer to be communicated with? Do you like the phone? Do you like text? Or do you prefer email? Use the Arizona Buyer's Advisory. Your realtor can provide you with one. It's a great resource to help you research different areas of the valley. You can look at crime stats, schools, even if there are sex offenders in the area. We can also send you one. Just contact us. Don't go look at more than 4 or 5 houses at a time. Anything more and they just all start to meld together. Just a few tips to make your home buying process easier. If you want to know what your home is worth, go to tv.thatrealestateshow.co. and click on the free home evaluation button. We'll send you a free report outlining the most recent sales in your neighborhood. If you do need a more specific price, you do need to have a realtor come to your home. That's tv.thatrealestateshow.co. Also, don't forget to join us Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. on 92.3 FM KTAR. We want to thank Preston Westmoreland for showing us this fabulous home, as well as all of our guests today for providing such valuable information. We'll see you next time on That Real Estate Show.